The chisel is a very ancient tool that seems to have changed little since it first appeared, except for the use of metal instead of stone, and the shape of the blade. Compared to the plane and the saw, it is still quite primitive. As for Western chisels, they are commonly divided into two types, socket and tang. Socket chisels have a tapered socket that extends from the neck of the chisel and fits over the handle, holding it by friction. On tang chisels, the handle fits onto a projecting shaft called a tang. Japanese chisels were made originally with sockets, but in the late 17th or early 18th century, a combination of socket and tang chisels evolved. The socket part has a taper similar to a socket chisel, but it is sturdy with either a rounded or a rounded square section. The tang, which protrudes from the socket, is square and quite heavy. The tang on a Japanese chisel is therefore, has never broken off. A tapered sheet of iron acts like a socket, compressing the wood as the tang spreads it. If you feel the handles that come with Japanese chisels are too small for your hands, like some Western woodworkers feel. If this is the case, remove the ferrule and the hoop, make a handle, then refit them. Chisels come in two types, one is hit with a hammer, and the other is pushed by hand. The wood you use for the handle depends on the type of chisel you have. The handles for striking chisels must be made of hard and resilient wood. Red or white oak is commonly used in Japan because that will hold the tang firmly and can be easily mushroomed over. Handles for chisels that will be pushed are not subjected to severe punishment, often made of oak, but they can also be made of brittle woods, such as ebony and rosewood. Sokonin often show their love for their tools by using an exotic wood as the handle of their push chisels. The shape of the handle is also different for striking and pushing. A striking chisel is slightly curved and thickest in the middle, like a Greek column. This curvature is called entasis. The handle of a push chisel tapers down evenly, with the top of the handle being the thickest part. The handle of a push chisel is usually thinner and longer than that of a striking chisel. Tataki nomi or striking chisel is used by hitting it with a hammer. Using a chisel is considered one of the more difficult tasks of a carpenter. You begin by lightly tapping the chisel from the inside of the black lines. Here we are starting to chisel a joint. Starting from inside the black lines, we chisel out little by little, in a triangular pattern. You use chisels of different widths, depending on where you are chiseling. Unlike striking chisels, tsuki-nomi, paring chisels, are used by pushing them with your hand. One kind of striking chisel is ore-nomi or butt chisel. A butt chisel is used in joinery work or detailed work on lintels and sills. In addition to striking chisels, there are tsuki-nomi, paring chisels, kote-nomi, cranked neck chisels, and others that you use by pushing on them. Paring chisels are used by pushing hard on them. Paring chisels are used to finish the holes and joints created with striking chisels. Kote-nomi, cranked neck chisels, are used to create deep recesses and grooves. They are used in finishing small holes and grooves. They are especially useful in cleaning up the bottoms of mortises. These are chisels that are used in special ways. The top one is used for punching, while the bottom one is used for cleaning up the bottom of grooves. Cleaning up, scraping, dressing. These are all different ways of describing when you remove chips and scraps after chiseling them into wood. Uchinuki or punches are used for creating through holes. They don't have blades, rather they have flat tips and are angular.